Juicy lumberries. There's nothing more flavorful than berries. Blumberries, glumberries, glawberries, or no berries. Hello everyone, my name is Grayson and welcome to episode 1 of this Let's Play of Oaken. Now this is a new game glance kind of mini-series looking thing at this game, this great game, which is in early access. If you didn't catch my episode 0, you're probably going to be a little confused, so please go and check that one out for all the setup information, the terminology, the UI, the resources, and how the game plays, like what kind of game it is. In this episode, we're going to get going, so let's get back here. I think that what I want to do is start with this battle, do an event, a encounter, a event, a rest stop, a hard battle, an event, maybe another hard battle. We'll see where we are, and then the boss. That way I can do kind of all this different stuff except for secret, which isn't on this particular map. So let's start here. Let's go right into the battle and we'll show you what it looks like and how it plays. So every battle has a little preview of what you'll be fighting. So this is glow in the dark. The Lumi Lantern's light seems to be waning. The more lanterns are unstable, the easier it will be for the eclipse to spread. So we have 2 objectives. There's always an objective, a main objective to finish the event. And then there's always a secondary objective that will allow you to get some bonus resources. I would recommend you try to do this every single time. You can get a lot of resources from the secondary objective, and it really, really makes you powerful. So we need to defeat all the enemies, and we also need to protect all the Lumi Lanterns. So I'll show you what those are once we get in. I'm pretty familiar with these at this point, but they're not too hard to protect, and I'll show you why. We have a wild seedling. This is just a version of our seedling here, but it is sort of like an evil version. It is a unit. It has farewell, which is basically its like last breath or death ability. Activates the ability on death. Farewell fills its frontal arc with the corruption thing. So ours fill their frontal arc with cultivation tiles when it's summoned. Theirs fill their frontal arc with the corrupted tiles on death. So they're the opposite of ours. They also have wild shapers. These are 2/2s. They have farewell, create a wild niblet, which is a 2/1 unit. So this guy is just sort of annoying because he's a 2/2 that dies and becomes a 2/1. So you have to hit him twice, or you risk leaving somebody around that's going to just do a little bit of damage to you. Fortunately, they're all melee, so you don't have to deal much with the range option here, but I'll show you how our range works. I think we have a shooter. We don't have any shooters. Okay, never mind. We won't be talking about ranged in this combat. All right, let's get going. Okay, so first up, you get to redraw. So I'm going to push self or nearby ally into an unoccupied hex. I'm going to redraw this one and leave these ones because I want cheap stuff in my hand so I can do stuff on the first turn. Okay, so we're on our first turn. If you've played games like Legends of Runeterra or Hearthstone, you'll be familiar with this mana system. We will start with 3 Lumi every turn, and then so like next turn we'll have 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7. So we'll have an increasing amount of this like mana to spend every turn automatically. It doesn't roll over, so spend as much as you can. And a good way to do that is you always have these powers down here that cost 1 each at base. So if you can't spend all your mana, like this turn, I'm probably going to summon a seedling and then use one of these powers. So here is the lady. What you can do, and there is a redo button in this game, which is really, really great. So let's take a look at the lady. So she has 2 damage and 16 health. She has a frontal arc right here of the front half of her hexes. So that means that if somebody attacks her from the front, she will retaliate if it's in melee. If someone gets around behind her and hits her from here, she will not retaliate. So be aware of that. The facing is important. You can make units face a different direction without moving them. And you do that by clicking and holding, and you can just drag onto the arrows. You can also see that there are these highlighted hexes here. That's her movement range. Almost every unit has a movement range of 1. So just be aware of that. It's pretty uncommon for them to be faster than that. So I can drag her anywhere I want and then set her facing as well. So I could drag her back to here and make her face this way. That would be good because her front arc would be covered completely and she'd be backed in a corner and safe. I could move her to here and attack this unit. So let me show you how that works. I can move here, have her face that way. Now if I wanted her to attack, I could drag her onto here, and it previews that I'm going to hit him for 2, he's going to hit me for 3, but it's not going to kill him. This little skull is just there to remind me that when this unit dies, it's got a farewell power that will make it spread that corruption right here. So that's how that works. And then there is an undo. You can undo the actions of the lastly used unit. So if you mess something up, I think you can even undo attacks, which is really, really cool. So you can just start it back where it was, which is really great. This is our secondary objective. This is the Lumi Lantern. So this blocks line of sight and is immobile. So if somebody can shoot, they couldn't shoot over this unit. This is an object, so it won't move around. And it creates up to 2 cultivation nearby at the start of its turn and takes damage for each one created. So this one is going to try to create the green cultivation tiles around it every turn, but it's going to hurt itself. Our secondary objective is to protect all Lumi Lanterns. There's just one, but it's in the middle, which is going to make this hard to do. So what I could do is try to heal it. I could be healing this unit as it wounds itself. I can also spread its these cultivation tiles around to make it so this one has less work to do that. These units will attack this if we're not careful, so you do have to watch out for that. Now these little symbols here are like little carvings, so if you step on this you become hastened and you get an extra move. This one, step on it to gain strength and a shield. So strength and shield means you do 1 more damage and take 1 less damage, but only once for each of those things. So it's a very temporary boost, but it can make all the difference in a game where the numbers are so sort of small and understandable. So what we might do on this turn is I'm very interested in protecting this lantern and taking as little damage as possible on our lady character. You can see this thing here is a burrow. This will summon enemies. This is another burrow here, and it's telling us that it's going to spawn a wild seedling on one of these 2 spots. This is one of the very few things in this game that has any randomness to it, is the spawn location of stuff. If you block one of these 2, then you'll know where it's going to spawn. If you block both of these 2, it will spawn on a random hex as close as possible. So blocking one of these 2 is great, then you know exactly where enemies will pop up. Blocking both of them is a terrible idea because then they could show up anywhere and then you have to reassess your whole turn. So just keep that in mind. The objective is telling us that there are going to be 8 enemies total, so we have 1 here, 1 spawning next turn, and then we'll be looking for 6 more enemies to show up. So hopefully our deck will last long enough to let us defeat all those enemies, but I'm not too worried about it because these guys are pretty weak. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn this seedling here, facing this way. You can see it spawned in, so it cultivated all these tiles. And now this one, if it attacks this guy, will actually only deal 3 damage, but this one has a shield 1, so it will take 1 fewer damage. Now, you can't do anything with it the turn it's summoned, but I'm hoping this one will attack this guy. I bet it won't, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, and then I think, yeah, I could push it. I could push it in my frontal arc away. It would take 2 damage. I think I might do that. So if I push this unit, the reason it's going to take 2 damage is because it's going to collide with the terrain, with the edge of the map. So let's do that. And now it's got 1 health and we have 2 health. So I'm going to attack it here. And it's going to fill its frontal arc with the corruption. Now, obviously, I should have summoned this seedling after doing that, because then this would be a green tile, but, you know, you live and you learn. So we can end turn now. So now, this one basically cleansed 2 random tiles around it. I think it's got a range of 2 normally. I'm not sure. Yeah, it says nearby, which is usually 2. So it's wounded itself now. So what I want to do is heal this one with one of my mana points by just clicking my life touch here and dragging that onto this, because I want to save this thing for the secondary objective. So there's going to be 2 spawning in here, 2 of these wild shapers. There's a seedling here. Can only move 1 space. So what I might do is I'll take this seedling, to here. I stepped on the carving, which gives me hasten, so I have another movement point. So now I can go to here. And then because I have this one shield, this unit will only deal 2 actual health damage to me because it's going to take 1 of the 3 off. So if I hit it, you can see I'm going to kill it. It's only going to do 2 damage to me. Now, it did spawn more of this corruption, unfortunately, but that's okay because we can cleanse a bunch of that. And then we can also heal this guy up on another turn if we really want to keep him alive and continuing to hit stuff. We can always keep using this carving of might as well, which would be a good idea. I might even go to here, buff myself up, the lady up on that one. I'm going to spawn a seedling, I think, here, and I'll use it to cleanse the frontal arc like that, trying to keep this, take as much work off of this guy's platter as possible. Is that an expression? It's Gracie Styles' expression. Let's cleanse one more. Let's cleanse, it doesn't matter too much because we don't have anything that really cares about the status of the tiles at this point in our decks, but we may later on. So let's end turn. All right. Okay, so Awake pushes away adjacent units. So what we're probably gonna do here is I'm gonna move the lady to here. Oh yeah, you can see, because these are blocked, this burrow is now attempting to spawn in one of the next closest hexes, so it could be anywhere in here, which is not great. I don't know if these carvings can be used by enemies, but we're not going to find out, because what we're going to do is we're going to spawn this crawler right here, and then what it's going to do is it's going to push all of our units around. So it's going to push these 2 into the walls and kill them. And then it's going to push the lady over to here. Now, unfortunately, this will push her away and then we won't be able to kill the nibblers that spawn, but it's okay. We'll survive. So what I'm going to do real quick, though, is I am going to heal... I have to be adjacent. Let's go over here. Let's heal this one with 1 of the mana. I'm going to go ahead and push away like so. Now that they've spawned, the next enemy could spawn anywhere out here because we don't have any space for them. So I'm just going to move back to here. And then we can't move here. And we can move here. I'll probably go like... I can actually go to here and kill this one. There's a chance that this one will attack this one and not kill it, but the AI is typically smart enough to make intelligent decisions, so this one may move down here and kill this one off. Oh, it can't because this one spawned in its way. That's actually awesome for us. So this one moved up to here and attacked this unit's from outside of its frontal arc, which is something I should have thought about. So you can see he didn't get to retaliate, which is unfortunate for us. So we have 5 units left we need to kill. Nothing's going to spawn this next turn. Looks like they're going easy on me here. I'm going to go ahead and heal. I need to get over here and heal this guy before he dies. So let me kill this thing off. Yeah, so it didn't get to retaliate because it died. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start heading down this way. Let's kill this off here. And then we can't heal this yet, so we'll heal the lady herself. Push a unit in your frontal arc away. No, that's not helpful right now. Let's cleanse a tile. Maybe just that one. And then I don't want to spend any more mana. Like, I don't want to spawn this guy when he's got that cool power that pushes things. So I'm actually going to wait and just do nothing else this turn. So here's the thing I was talking about in the first episode, the episode 0, about how this is unstable. Now, I've used this seedling. That was probably either this seedling or the one that I killed off. If I spawn this unit again, it will be unusable until I beat the boss of this whole level. So I don't want to do this unless I'm in absolutely dire straits. So let me get down to here. We're going to face this away, get our shield and our buff, start moving this one over, and then I'm going to heal this Lumi Lantern. I want to try to protect it until we've killed everything off. Awake runs forward until colliding. That's really interesting. Oh, and it pushes everything. Oh, so it would hurt this guy because he's not my unit. That's wild. Oh, I can't wait to use that guy. That's super cool. Let's cultivate a tile. I'm trying to help this Lumi Lantern out. Okay, so we absolutely need to heal this. If I forget to do that, we lose the secondary objective. Let's push this one to here. It'll be ready to hit whatever comes out. Now we've got a Wild Shaper that will create a Niblet, and we have another Wild Shaper that will create a Niblet. So what we might do... Runs forward until colliding. That's interesting. Let's try it. So he ran into this guy, but instead of taking damage like they normally would, he got a shield and heals a health, which is really weird. Push self or a nearby ally onto an unoccupied hex. Push a unit in your frontal arc away. I'm going to push this guy away. And then I'm going to kill this one with my regular attack. And then this one, probably kill this guy off. I could move him away, but I don't want to risk that the Niblet hits the Lumi Lantern, so I'm just gonna wait and chance. I mean, if he dies, it's fine, but there's a chance he'll hit this one. Okay, no, so they're gonna kill each other here. Okay, that's fine. So this guy's almost dead, but it won't matter. What is the Silent Fog? That doesn't sound good. Let's get out of here. There we go. So we've beaten the level, we killed all the enemies, and we did protect the Lumi Lantern. So you can see we got 7 Lumi Dust for winning, for defeating all enemies, but we got 6 more by doing the secondary objective, so we almost doubled our resources. So it's the difference between having, you know, double resources during a run, if you can complete those. Okay, so here we have some cards we can choose because we finished a battle. So this is the simplest one here. Give a nearby ally +2/+2. It has reach. In this game, that doesn't just mean longer range. That means you can cast it onto any cultivated tile. So if you have the green tiles around the map, you can cast this onto them. That's not bad. +2/+2 means that something could survive a hit, kill something that it wouldn't normally. That's not bad. There are definitely times where you'll have a clutter of units on the board. The boards can be quite small, and so sometimes having lots of units to summon isn't the right answer, especially because there are AoE effects in the game. Here's a basic shooter. This is a spitter. When it attacks, it also gets a shield and a point of strength for 1 point each. So this unit, you plop it down somewhere it can stay safe, and it just shoots a little bit of damage every turn if possible. This is a new unit, so I've never seen this unit before. This is probably one of the meta progression unlocks. Like a lot of these games, as you complete runs, you get experience, and then you unlock new cards and abilities and stuff that you can see later on. So this here is a Stomper, a 4 mana 3/3. Rush can attack the turn it is summoned. Is that worth the 4 mana for a 3/3? But it can attack right away. It's essentially a... If it hits anything that can kill it back... you know what, though? Except you could summon this behind an enemy, and it could hit them before they can turn around. So I think I'll give it a try. That's not something I'm used to being able to do. Let's go do an event. Juicy Lumberries. There's nothing more flavorful than berries. On a steep cliff, you have noticed a bush of your favorite kind, the Blumberries. Become fatigued 4 to receive +0/+2, so this is to the lady. Glumberries become fatigued 3 to receive +1/+0. Glawberries become fatigued 3 to receive 2 Lumi Globes, or no berries, and you leave. Okay, so what does this mean? Fatigued is the thing I talked about in episode 0, where it lowers your maximum health until the end of the boss fight, or if you heal at like a rest node. So this would lower it by 4, 3, and 3. This would make the lady have 18 max health. permanently. The fatigue can be healed, but this would stick around after that, which is awesome. This would make us stronger, so we can actually hit harder, but we don't get any more health. This would let us upgrade our skills, like either our spells or our active like player spells that we have every turn. I'm gonna go with the glawberries here. Glawberries are my favorite juicy lumberry, so I'm gonna click on this one. Sometimes the golden glawberries form a Lumi globe, and this time you were lucky. What the hell's going on? Okay, so we get 2 Lumi globes. Use 1 to upgrade a spell or 2 to upgrade a skill. I usually like to upgrade my skills. So let's go into the deck. You can see here we have 13 of the Lumi dust. So we can upgrade things now if we want. So you can see like the crawler, for instance, would become a 5/3, like I predicted. This would become a 4/3. And the Stomper would become a 4/3. Now, I'm probably going to upgrade the Stomper because I like the idea of being able to summon him behind an enemy's frontal arc and attacking before they have a chance to turn around. The AI is very good at keeping themselves safe. I infrequently get to hit enemies from their back arcs because they understand how to position themselves. It's quite cool. So let's upgrade the Stomper. So you can see 1 of his 4 pips has been used, so he can upgrade 3 more times before he's at max. So he'll probably get to be a 5/5, if I have to guess. We also have 2 Lumi globes, so we can drag one of these over to Impale to make it. So you get 3 options. So this might do something like, now it does 5 or 6 damage, or it might be, rather than your line of sight, it might be like anywhere within 2 hexes, or it might push them, or something like that. I can't see what it is until I do it. And then Wade would be the same thing. I probably want to upgrade a passive. This is really useful. Restore 3 health to self or nearby unit. So instead of it being adjacent, they can be within 2 hexes away. This one would let you create a cultivation tile anywhere. That would be great if we were using one of the other 2 guides, but this one doesn't really care much for the cultivation tiles. At least not anything yet, so I'm not going to upgrade that one. And then push a unit in your frontal arc away, push an adjacent unit away. So it could be things that are behind you as well. That's could be useful. That way you could position yourself in a way to attack things and help your butt not be exposed. I'm thinking though, probably Life Touch. Oh, but this could be used to push an ally behind you away to buff them with this passive. Let's do the healing, and I'm going to get used to using this as is. Let's do the healing one. So now Life Touch Plus, restore 3 health to self or nearby unit. So the exhaustion, you can see we're fatigued 3, so we have reduced maximum health. Instead of 16, it's only 13, removed at the end of the chapter, which is this boss, or if we heal it at one of these nodes, which we may or may not do, depending on how bad this gets. I tend to get pretty low with the fatigue, and then because I want to take all the best rewards and get fatigued, and then I have to heal it so I don't die. All right, so let's move on to a encounter here. This will be fight an easy battle to gain a Wisp or a Lumi globe. They're a little bit more like puzzles typically, so let's go and check one of these out. Even before the eclipse, some more malicious spitters like to practice on moving targets. Defeat all enemies, do not leave any corrupted spaces. So this is there will be these spitters here, so let's go ahead and fight these. Okay, I've done this one before. Okay, so what's going on here is that this is essentially kind of like a puzzle. So let me redraw real quick. So what we have going on here is you can see ranged units cannot shoot anything in their range. So if this guy was a range 2, you would expect him to be able to shoot something here. But that's not the case. You can only shoot things in your line of fire or your line of sight, which is straight from your frontal arc. So for instance, this unit can shoot 1, 2, 3 this way, 1, 2, and then there's no space here, or 1, 2. Fortunately, you can always hover over things to check that out. But you can see the lady is currently vulnerable to multiple enemy shots. But there is probably a spot I could move to where I'm not going to get hit. Yeah, it's right here. This spot here I could move to and I will not be hit. So I'm going to have to do that, I think. The problem is if I summon a unit... Yeah, so what I'll probably do go to here. And then create a cultivation spot. I want to clear out all these purple ones. And then I'm not going to do anything else. I think I'll probably... Can't push one of these. I'm just going to end turn. So they are going to move around a bit. If a ranged unit moves, it cannot use a ranged attack. So that one there moved down here and then melee attacked me and I struck back and killed it. You can't move and shoot with a ranged unit. So that's why I was safe to move here and wait, is because none of these, otherwise they could have all just moved and then shot me and I would die. But they can't do that. So this one can shoot there. We're vulnerable basically everywhere. I'm safe here if I kill this one. But he's got 2 shield. Because he attacked, I think. Actually, I'm not sure how he attacked. So let me first get rid of that. Hit this one. And then I'm going to heal myself 3. I can't summon this anywhere without it just getting killed. I might use this next turn. Could push this one away, but then they could just shoot at me. Okay. So here's a carving of might. Let me cultivate. Yeah, hit that one. And then let me put a... I'm going to put this guy right here. So this one can either fight him or move away, but then won't be able to attack. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm trying to finish getting these tiles cleared out before I kill these all off. I don't want to put this one here because it can get shot at for free, so I think I'm going to wait. Go ahead and heal myself. Oh, it can shoot. Okay, I thought when you're in melee you actually couldn't shoot. I think you just can't shoot the thing you're in melee with. My bad. My bad. So let's kill this guy off. Heal myself. Cultivate that tile. Neither of these can hit me. So I'm just going to pass. I could cultivate that one. There we go. So do not leave any corrupted tiles is now going to be complete, as long as we end the game with it like that, which we will. Let's try our little charger guy out here. So he can spawn and attack on the same turn. Super cool, because he can't fight back. Spawn him behind him. Fun. And then we can also push this one. So instead of attacking him and getting hit back, which in this case doesn't matter, didn't even heal myself, I can just use this bonk, push him into the wall, and he takes a couple damage. Cool. Very fun. So we got three points for the victory. Not very much, but we got 5 for the extra objective, which is awesome. So that's 9 extra Lumi dust for us. So we get a reward. So these are wisps. These are the little chunky little guys that you add to your characters in your deck, and it gives them extra powers. So we have here a reach, can be summoned onto any cultivated tile and gives +1 max health. A defense wisp gives +1 attack, and when they are summoned, they get 2 shield points, or +1 health and increases shield received by 2. Now, that's probably good for us because we have this passive where we're giving shield to our allies when we push them around. And we can do that with like these guys and even this character. So that's probably a good choice, because we could get 1 strength and or 1 health and 3 shield by bonking our own units. So what you do with these is you can just drag them at any time onto a unit. It's nice because you don't have to spend it yet if you don't like it. But I think I might actually just go ahead and put it on this Stomper. I like this Stomper guy kind of quite a bit now that I've figured out that I can use him to summon him behind things. So let's go ahead and give him this. So increase shield received by 2. So now if we can push him into a wall or something after he's been summoned, he'll get 3 shield points and heal 1, which is super cool. We don't have enough dust to upgrade anything, so we'll just back out of there. So it looks like we're about out of time for this episode. So what I'm going to do is when we come back on the next one, which will be episode 2, we'll do this event. We'll check out a Healy spot and see what kind of rewards we want. And then we'll do a hard fight. And these can be quite challenging. So can the bosses, actually. And then we'll move on down this way and maybe do 2 hard fights and the boss. This will probably be an episode to get through this and an episode to get through this. Just FYI. So I want to thank everybody so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying this little mini series for Oaken, which is a fantastic game. If you are enjoying this, please consider liking and subscribing and checking the game out for yourself. I will see you in the next episode.